Lesson 2, it's about time. If I ask you, what's the question, time, mean to you? Or what is the most simplest and most effective time strategies that you could use? What would you think? Just think for a moment. Remember when we talked about what it is to be successful in college? And I had you think about what it means to you to be successful? What if I could tell you that there are some very important time strategies, time management strategies, that if you learn how to use them correctly, it's going to make the usage of your time way more effective, and you'll become more productive and more successful. So that's what we're going to do today. I love this quote from Benjamin Franklin: by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Okay? If you fail to prepare, you are preparing to fail. The reasons that we want to develop these effective time management strategies is how it makes us feel. When we know, learning is the key. When we have the knowledge of how to use effective time management strategies that we're going to go through, you're going to feel adjusted, you're going to feel calm. These strategies will become habit to you, like second nature. So ways to develop these strategies, what you're going to learn today is how to develop a calendar system. We're going to go through how to schedule properly. Procrastination, we just want to avoid that completely. And to plan weekly and daily activities and to create consistency. The first thing I want to discuss is calendar systems. How many of you have some type of calendar that you use? Whatever calendar system you use. Now, I used to use like the big old-fashioned boxes on my desk because I enjoyed writing in on the boxes with a pencil. I could make changes neatly and correctly, and I could always see it. It was a visual to me, and I was always at my desk. However, in the past several years, I have switched to using calendar on my phone because I always have it with me. I can make quick adjustments. There's things about the phone that I really like the reminder section that I will use. Also, I can put something in and it will repeat whatever I have on the schedule. It'll repeat it. I can set it up that way. So I have moved to the phone. You can use a daily planner, little pocket calendar. Whatever it is you use, keep it simple. Now, why would I say that? I have seen students come in with these elaborate calendar systems. I mean, there's color codes for everything and different bullet points, and it's all over the place. I would need a user manual to actually use it. But keep it simple and something that you know you'll use. I know I'm going to use my phone. If it needs to be visual for you and you need it on the wall, then do that too. Use reminders. And when I say reminders, when you write things in on your calendar, you're going to set up certain blocks of time. You also want to put reminders in there of what's coming up. For example, if a project's coming up in 2 weeks, and on that 2-week date when it's due, you write due date for project, and that's the only time you've written on your calendar, you would be failing to prepare appropriately because you would want to set some reminders a week in advance. Hey, my project's due in 1 week. Just so that it's up there in your mind all the time. You're always being reminded. And use some sort of backup system. I may have told you that once I wrote a book on a computer and I never backed it up to any other source, and my computer crashed and I lost my entire book. So I learned my lesson. Use backups. If you use the phone or any kind of like computer calendar, back it up. Either print it out or back it up somehow. Scheduling preferences. There are 4 main schedules to place in calendar, and we need to know the difference between these 4. All set times, study times, semester calendar dates, and weekly calendar date. Here are set times. This includes class time, work time, and family obligations. These are set and permanent. Just like in class, you're in class from 9 to 11:30. It goes in your calendar. It's a block of time, and you put it in your calendar, nothing else. Whatever your work schedule is. I'd say most of you have a job. You should try to have a consistent work schedule. That goes in your calendar. It is a set block of time. It's fixed. It's permanent. It doesn't change. And same thing with anything in your family that you do, like church with family every Sunday. That Sunday time is blocked. Set times are most important. They are focused on your priority. These are times that you prioritize, and you do not let anything else interfere with those block times. It is vital, I'm talking vital, that you create a daily study time. It is as important as that set, permanent, blocked time. You look at your set times, like your class times, and figure out what other, quote, set time you can use for study time. Hopefully it's right after your classes. That's the best place to schedule a study block. And again, it's permanent. Nothing interferes with that time. But you're thinking, well, how long? That's very important. How long do I do it? Where do I go? So just as important as having that study time is thinking about where, and make it a permanent place, as permanent as you can get. So is it in your dorm, your home, the library? You can get to the library right after class, it's close. But it has to be non-distracting, no distracting factors. It has to be quiet, enable you to work. And when I say no distractors, that means your phone goes off just like you are in class. It's on silence for that 2-hour block, or however long it is. Rule of thumb is 20 to 30 minutes study, completely study at a time, then take a short break. Your short break is an active break. It's a stand up, move, stretch, walk around the room, get a drink of water, eat a snack, just in that short 5-minute break or so. And then go back to your 20 to 30 minute block of study. This is very important that you follow this procedure. It will breed success. Now, on the study block, do not allocate more than 2 hours at a time. It should be somewhere between 1 and 2 hour block. But the rule of thumb is for every hour of in-class time, you need to double that, out of class work time. During your study block time, adopt those strategies, figure out a consistent pattern on how to concentrate or how to study. So get this study time blocked off on the calendar. A question comes up, well, if I block off a 2-hour study time, that's a lot of time. Yes, it is. This is college life. And what if I don't have enough to do in 2 hours? There's always something to do. Number 1, look ahead. I've got a project due next week. Am I done with it? Okay, that's something I can work ahead on. I've got a quiz coming up. I'll start studying. Review your notes. There's always something to do. Do your unpleasant assignments first. Get them over with, is the way I look at it. If English, you dread writing that paper, start with that. During short breaks, walk or move around, as I've already said. Another tip is to avoid social media and surfing the web. Think about it. Think about what you do when you get on your phone and you start looking up things. Time flies, doesn't it? It takes your time. It kills your time. It kills it. You start chasing rabbits. So just avoid doing that during your study block time. Now you can reward yourself. If I finish this project and this assignment, then I'm going to have some free time to do this. The next thing that you need to put in your calendar, remember, you've chosen a calendar, a system that you're going to use, the semester calendar dates. Every college has it. You get online, they have the beginning semester date, the end, the last day of class, the holiday breaks. Then every professor gives you a syllabus, or you have access to a syllabus. On that syllabus, sometimes there are dates of when projects are due. If it's not on the syllabus, the professor will tell you in week 12 you're going to have a project. They're going to give you ample time. So as soon as you find out when you have a project, paper, exam due, you put it on your calendar. Now here's a great tip. You've got that, I already mentioned it a second ago. You put it on the calendar. This is due on this date. But then you go back a couple of days and put that reminder in. So don't just put the due date. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, this is the weekly calendar. It is like the to-do list for the week. Weekly assignments, this is due on Friday at the end of the week. Remember, you've got those 2-hour study blocks. You may get your work done early. If you have a professor who allows you to turn it in early, do it. Now think about why that would be advantage to you. That's it. That's, to me, the number one advantage. it's off your back. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's in, it's done early, I can forget about it, basically. Also, if there's anything that went wrong, maybe with uploading it, or a problem is noticed and you've turned it in early, that can be brought to your attention perhaps, and you can fix it. If you need to work with a group, you work with that person or with that group when you can get together, and you would add it to your weekly calendar. So block that time off. Any kind of meeting, this is with professor, you definitely don't want to forget your meeting with your professor. It wouldn't look too good on you. A doctor's appointment, or if you know I need extra study time this week because I got a lot going on, schedule it for the week. So this is what I call the to-do list, the weekly calendar. So you've got your semester calendar from the college, you've got each professor's main projects or exams, and then you've got your weekly calendar. When you use your calendar, review it every morning. How many of you do that? When you get up, look at your calendar. It just gets your mind ready, get your mind set for what, just a refresher, this is what I've got to do today. Look ahead at what's coming tomorrow. So you look at today and you look at tomorrow, because what if you need to make some changes? What if something popped up? Keep it up to date. Don't use it for 1 week and then not use it at all. If you develop a consistent pattern by looking at it every morning and reviewing it every evening as well, it kind of develops a pattern. Using it will be the key to success. Not having it, using it. Let's get into procrastination. Procrastination is the act of delaying something or postponing it, sometimes not even doing it, right? Personalities, which may surprise you, who tend to procrastinate. We normally think, oh, it's just if you're a lazy person. Lazy people do procrastinate. They just don't want to get out of bed. They just don't want to do it. It's also forgetful people. Now, if you're lazy, you just got to make that choice not to have a lazy behavior. I can't help you there much. You just got to have the desire to change your own behavior and then change it. If you are forgetful and you forgot that this assignment was coming up, well, we're talking about a calendar system. So if you're reviewing your calendar system every morning, in the evening, and looking at it all the time, then you're not going to forget. So that stops you. If you tend to be a forgetful person, you depend on your calendar system. The perfectionist, that one may surprise you, but if you are one of these perfectionists, you may understand it all done perfect, done right, no mistakes. Sometimes they can't live up to that. So what they tend to do, well, if I can't do it perfect, I'm not going to do it at all, or I'm going to delay it till I think I can get everything just right before I begin the project. I will tell you a personal story on my end. Growing up, a typical teenager, I didn't like doing many chores in the house. And one of the chores that I hated or despised was cleaning my bathroom. My father had said, he was kind of a military man, very strict, always would come in and check my work. Now I'm a teenager. Well, this one particular day, and I remember it vividly, it made an impression on me. I'm still talking about it. I thought I did a very good job. I had to clean the shower and the shower doors and the entire bathroom. And this is, a weekly job. So I did it, and I thought, okay, this is great. He's going to come in and compliment me. And I tend to be on that perfectionist realm a little bit, too. Well, I can remember he got his finger, and he went in between the shower doors. He was checking my work. And instead of giving me a pat on the back, he showed me and said, I see some dirt here. From then on, I never wanted to clean the showers again or anything. I started despising it because I couldn't live up to that perfection that was expected of me. So I tended to put it off because I could never get it right. I could never do it perfectly. So then I would procrastinate from then on. Now I know that was just his ill way of thinking and wasn't bad on me. So a perfectionist type of person, because of their fear of not getting it right or perfect, will tend to procrastinate. Another personality that will sometimes procrastinate is the above average or the severe anxiety levels. because you have so much anxiety. If that tends to be you or someone you know, that's where we seek help. Outside help, a psychologist, a counselor, somebody like that. So to overcome procrastination, here's what we need to do. Understand that there's going to be relapses. You may be doing well, and then you're going to procrastinate. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just say, okay, I went backwards a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to get back up on the horse, and I'm going to go again. So avoid becoming frustrated. Instead, reflect on why did that happen? Why did you procrastinate in that case? Try to determine the reason. Thirdly, stick to schedules. You should be sticking to a schedule. If you're sticking to that schedule, you're not going to get behind. Adopt the time management principles that we're going over. Just let it become part of who you are and what you do so that you can succeed on this journey. And I love rewards, don't you? Only if you deserve them. Develop a reward system. For example, if you use your study block time and you've gone the full time, hour and a half, and let's say you love chocolate. Okay, that would be me. What I'm supposed to do, I finished all my assignments. Then I'm going to enjoy my chocolate bar. That's a simple reward system. What about if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? You love to text them. Make a deal with yourself. Phones out of sight, out of mind, but when I finish, then I will pick up my phone and text. So develop these simple reward systems and stick to it. There is an art of planning weekly and daily activities. And you may look at this list and say, why are you talking about that? How is that going to help me to be successful in my college journey? You've got to schedule everything. And the more consistent you can make it, the better. I'm not saying you have to write every little thing you do, like get up at, 7 a.m. or you don't have to write every single thing you do, but your main daily or weekly chores, you should do that. Laundry. Some of you who are living at home with a sweet mother may not have to worry about that. But when you're on your own, as you are now or will be, these are chores that you have to start taking care of yourself. House cleaning, grocery shopping, going to the gym, schedule gym time. Just make it a point. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m., I'm going to the gym. Once it's on your calendar, you know what you're doing. Entertainment. If you say, I'm only going to go out and go to movies or hang out with my friends on Friday evenings because I've got such a workload, then that can be your fun time. But it needs to be scheduled. Make it consistent. I go grocery shopping. I've done this for years. Every Tuesday. That's when I go. So that I know I'm not running around going to the grocery store 10 times a week. Oh, I didn't get this. So I make a list, and then when it's time for me to go grocery shopping, I go. Quick summary: find a calendar device that you will use. Use reminders in the notes sections. Very helpful. Schedule all set times. Remember your priorities. So this is class times, work schedule, and your family. You don't want to leave out your family. Okay, if they know that they have a set time with you to spend time with you, they're not going to be bugging you all week long and vying for your attention. Schedule study blocks, schedule weekly assignments or your study groups. Look at your calendar and review it every morning and evening. Eliminate procrastination you can use reward systems or those tips that I shared with you. Create weekly and daily chores and activities. Put that on your calendar. All of this creates a consistent habit. They say it takes 30 days to create a habit. So if you're trying to start something, do it consistently every day for 30 days and hopefully it becomes habit. Time is the most valuable coin in your life. You and you alone will determine how that coin will be spent. You agree with that? Who's in control of time? Your time. You are.